Joe Kozan.
Join the meeting.
Hello, Joe.
Hi, who is this?
This is Tom Brown. Are you on the
Good,
phone?
Tom, how you doing?
I'm over
Yeah, I'm
doing
on the
well.
phone.
Excellent.
I have a computer, but it doesn't have a microphone, so I figured I'd go on the phone so I could talk.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay. How do I get a picture on the phone?
It depends. What kind of phone you got?
I've got a Apple 8.
All right. So what you'll need to do, you'll need to download the Zoom app and connect through that, because you dialed in as a regular landline phone number and it doesn't perceive a camera.
Okay. Well, then I'll just listen in and talk.
And then sometime in the next week or the next couple days, download the Zoom app if you
next
want to
couple
test
days.
it.
I'll do that.
Sure. And then if you want to test it, let me know, and I'll schedule a Zoom meeting just for you and me.
Okay, great. Hey, thanks a lot.
Not a problem. We got Michael Steffens over here. Hello, Michael. Good morning. I think he's trying to figure out the technology as far as that. Maybe he's got the app. Oh, yeah. Maybe he's dialing in. What do we got here? All right, so we're having different people trying to figure this out.
So technology is always so much fun, Mike, for Tom.
Yes, yes, it is. So yesterday I ran the Zoom meeting for the district, and we had 176 register and 107 actually attend.
So I watched the download.
Michael Steffens.
Okay.
Join the meeting.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, I finally made it in with some sound.
Yeah, so Joe, what Michael has done is he's got a computer with just a camera but no speaker, and then he dialed in with his phone by his ear. So he's using two logins, and whatever works, buddy.
Hey, can I log in with the computer just so I can have a picture?
Yes, yes, please try it.
Okay, we'll do a dual. Voice on the phone, and this is the other thing. I'll figure this out in a second.
All right, so Peter Smith just joined us. Good morning, Peter. Oh, Peter's connecting with audio still. Oh, hello, Peter. Good morning.
Hello.
Excellent. We also have Joe Kozan and Michael Steffens. He may have accidentally disconnected from us.
No, I just went on speakerphone.
Oh, okay. Lynn has joined us. Carol has joined us. Excellent. Let's see. So people are dropping in left and right. Very awesome.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Carol. Good morning for another
Good
5
morning.
minutes.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
It is, and I see bright sunshine behind you. What a glorious day.
You can't be in Elmira.
I am. Who's that?
That's Joe Kozan.
Joe Kozan. Who else?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I am. I'm sitting at the kitchen table next to the bird feeder, so I'm watching the birds as we talk.
Ah.
Well, most excellent. And so we've got Jim has shown up, and Randy Reed has now graced us with his presence. Good morning, Randy.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Hey, Randy.
So one of those phone icons is Joe Kozan.
Okay. Oh, Michael's eating his up. There's Jim. Michael's eating lunch.
That's because this is my lunch. As soon as we get off from this, I have to go back to work here.
Oh, do you really?
Yep.
We joined early so we could order lunch.
Hi, Peter.
Well, they're having a 3 for 2 deal at Subway.
Oh, that's good. Um,
So what did you order at Subway with the 2 for $2?
Well, this one is a turkey breast sub.
Okay.
And before that one, I got a spicy Italian and a steak and cheese.
Good for you.
Now, did you go and walk into the, or did they bring it out to your car?
At Grand Central, you can walk in.
I
They both said.
did
Yes.
elbow root last night and walked up to the bar, called it in, walked out. Wish I could have had a beer.
Yeah, no, they're bringing it out to the car at Domino's. Because I've got a Domino's like right next to the apartment building practically.
Well, excellent.
Where in Grand Central is the Subway?
In Grand Central Plaza. It's over there near the Chinese restaurant.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So let's see. Naeem has joined us, and we have Dick Dubois and Polly Smith coming
Blackwell.
in.
Great.
Thank you, Polly Smith Blackwell. And Joe Kozan might be getting his camera function up to speed. He's dialed in.
Hey, I see you.
Oh, look at that. He's coming in.
Don't you guys shave anymore?
You every day.
I haven't
I
shaved in a week or
I
two,
even
I don't
have
think.
my Rotary shirt
Yeah,
on.
Polly, you don't have to shave if you don't want to.
Oh, I did. I shaved my legs today for the first time.
Too much information.
TMI.
I read somewhere that a lot of ladies are just letting everything grow to go natural for the short term.
Well, look at my curly hair.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll be gray the next time you see me.
Hello, Naeem. Nice to see you. I've also invited Katie Boland and Tanya McGee, and Tanya said she is going to join us today.
Oh, good.
Great.
Good.
Wonderful.
Oh.
I didn't hear back from Katie.
You know, I was debating on whether to still invite people who are supposed to be a guest to do our this meetup meeting or this go-to meeting
Yeah, who's?
or Zoom meeting.
I'm thinking that was Randy Reed.
Oh, okay.
So generally speaking, what it will do is put a green square around who's talking.
Oh, okay.
Right.
And optimize for that. If you've got a master screen instead of this, it will shift over to the master one. I see Tanya has shown up. In regards to what Dick just said, I think starting next meeting, we should open this up to the community as much as possible. I think it would be a good way for them to see that the perception does not always match the reality of some people. Plus, it's a low barrier to entry. They can not be worried about meeting with a lot of strangers per se. Be kind of interesting.
Hi, Tanya. Nice
Oh.
to see you. Welcome to our club.
You're muted,
Oh,
Tanya.
there's
There you go.
Joy.
Joy, welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Wait, I thought that was Tanya.
No, that's
Looked
Joy
like
Perry.
Joy Perry.
And Judy Manchester is also joining us.
Hello.
See.
Hi.
So we'll give them a couple more minutes and let other stragglers come in. And then what I'll end up doing is I will mute everybody all at once. But if you want to speak, just press and hold your space bar down, and it turns on the microphone like the old time mics or like a walkie-talkie. And then you let your space bar go, and then it allows the mute to go back in. So that keeps minimal background to go into play.
How does
Tom,
that
can
work with the cell phone for audio?
I don't know. Never tried it.
It's working great.
Matt.
Join the meeting.
Let's see. Somebody else has joined us. What was your question, Dick?
Tom, can you unmute me when I do the presentation so I don't have to hold the bar down the whole time?
Absolutely. In fact, we're going to experiment giving you control. So
That's not a good idea.
what? You
Just gets
didn't.
me in trouble.
Well, we'll find out.
Okay.
See how things are going on it. In fact, I'm going to play with that right now while we are chit-chatting and talking to people here.
While we're waiting,
Hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, Polly. Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, Polly, do we get to count your cat as an attendee?
She's a guest.
Yeah, guest. Oh, wonderful.
Yep, it's her first Rotary meeting.
Yeah. My dog was trying to jump on the screen, so it's a good thing you didn't see the cat.
We'd have a virtual cat fight.
Well, that would be interesting. Hey, Dick, I made you a co-host. It probably gave you a couple options down at the bottom. Do you have something that says share screen?
Yes.
All right. So when you're ready, you should be able to click on that, and it will give you choices of how to share.
Okay.
This is Dick's first time sharing and hosting, so we figured we'd make him the test guy.
Hey, Tom, when I logged in, my screen says the same thing on the bottom, share screen.
Well, you can try sharing, but I don't know if it is. Laura Levitor has just joined us.
Good.
Hi, Laurie.
Hi.
Hi, Lori.
Hey, Laurie, how you doing?
Good morning. Or
When are you coming home?
What's
So,
that?
She's home.
Never mind. When are you coming home was my question.
Oh, I've been home for almost 10 days.
They let you through the border. Wow.
Are you in quarantine?
Yes, we actually moved my mom out of Apple Ridge and brought her here a week ago yesterday. We got home the day before, so we've been in isolation.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Stay safe.
So it's been like 10 days for her. She's fine. I guess you didn't catch anything while in the home?
So far, so good.
Good news.
I know. She's 90 and healthy.
Good.
That is awesome.
Good.
At least for now.
I'm 52 and healthy, at least for now.
All good.
Tom, is there anywhere we can see how many people are on?
At the very top, you have on the top, are you on a PC or a Mac?
I'm on a Mac.
Okay, I'm not sure if it's on the Mac, but at the very top, you have the ability to change from speaker view to gallery view.
On the top right-hand side, Dick.
There's everybody.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing everybody's name, that's all. I mean, I don't see how many.
So there's a couple in here. We've got Joe
it.
Kozan. When it says the name, it means they logged in through a computer.
I want Michael's sandwich.
But Joe has not turned on his camera for whatever reason. Joe, you would have to start video to show your camera on the bottom left.
Okay, so I got it. Thank you.
Mr. Weibel over there, same thing. And then we have two phone icons, and that is Michael and Joe. Their computers don't have microphones, so they dialed in. So they're in on two different ways.
Oh, there's Tanya.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
How do you get to start video to work?
Cat.
16. So we got 16.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
showing.
Tom,
Yes.
how do you, I see it says start video and there's a slash. How do I get that to not be a slash?
Click on the slash.
No go.
Then apparently your computer is not seeing the camera properly.
Okay.
It sounds like a settings issue. That's okay.
Should we go ahead and get started?
Yes.
Sure. Oh, please.
Yesterday or last night, Maggie told me she was going to be joining, so I expect her to jump in here at some point. Anyway, I want to officially welcome Tanya to the meeting. Thank you very much for showing up. We had planned to induct Tanya last week. Obviously, that didn't happen, so we hope to do that soon, and maybe we'll even do that virtually. We've talked about that if we can make that work in the next week or two. But anyway, thank you all for joining. I also wanted to thank Tom. He's done an amazing job with our club, but also with the district. Yesterday, we did a Zoom meeting where we had over 100 participants throughout the whole district. And I thought it went really well. Tom did a great presentation of using social media to keep our clubs connected and committees and districts. So thanks very much for doing that, Tom.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Really appreciate it. So I'm gonna go. We don't have any other guests, do we? I know I had asked Katie to join too, but I don't think she
Not
did.
yet.
So I'm going to go ahead and try to do my presentation. We'll see how that works. While
Hey, could I have a request?
Yeah.
Could we start the meeting?
You want me to ding a bell?
Pledge allegiance and the whole. I really am missing Rotary.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Joe. Why don't you go ahead and do the pledge, and we'll.
Does anybody
we'll
have
go
a
from there.
flag?
My
I'll hold
Afghan
mine
is
up.
flag-like.
I have one.
There we
Here
go.
One.
We'll take
Joe's
it.
got one. Way to
Okay.
go.
Here we go.
I pledge allegiance
to
to the flag
flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one
nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
and justice for all.
All right.
I like
Thank
that.
you.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Play ball.
Okay. So anyway, I'm going to try to. Can you start sharing when someone else is sharing?
Riken Rispaka.
Join the meeting.
Okay, we got.
So I'm going to mute all at the moment and then unmute you, Dick.
Okay.
All right, you're unmuted, Dick.
So how do I actually show the
So,
screen now?
Down at the bottom, click on the share icon, share screen,
Yep.
and it will give you choices of what to share.
Got it.
So highlight
Got
that and then click share on the bottom right.
Bottom right. Where's bottom?
Well,
Oh,
after,
got it. Yep.
there we go.
Okay. And I'm going to go to full screen. Okay, just to give you an idea what this is all about. As you may recall, a year ago now, I applied for a grant with the district, and that all came about as our club board of directors were talking about doing a project for this existing Rotary year. And one of the things we wanted to do is try to do something in relation to the Lake Street Bridge. I'm going to try to get rid of some of these things up here if I can.
We can't see anything other than the history of Lake Street Bridge, Dick.
Yeah, okay. Can you guys see the pictures or the people in my thing, or just the
Just the
first
screen.
page?
Just the
Okay.
screen.
Good. Okay. So anyway, we talked about trying to do something in relation to the idea of the building the pedestrian bridge, just maybe to put in some benches or flower beds or something, so the club could become a little more visible in the city. And Jim Brady and I met with Andy Avery and Ilissa Manwaring from the Chemung County Highway Department. Is that right? Or Buildings and Grounds? Yeah. Okay. Highway Department. And Andy suggested we do a historical sign doing the history of the Lake Street Bridge. So I applied for a grant with the district, and we were approved for that grant. And so this slideshow is based on the research I've done, and I'm basically going to be reading some stuff, so I apologize for that. But it's based pretty much on a blog that Erin Doan. Erin is the curator of the Chemung County Historical Society, and she gave us permission to use this stuff for the historical sign. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a little background, a little history of the bridge. The first, and this is not the first bridge, by the way, but the first bridge across the Chemung River in Elmira was completed at the foot of Lake Street in 1824. Unfortunately, we don't have a picture or anything of that bridge. Before that, to get across the bridge, you had to use a ferry. The wooden bridge had 3 piers, one in the center of each channel and another on the island in the middle of the river. Several years after it was built, the spans began to sag considerably. In 1840, the bridge was badly damaged by a great fire of that year, and a new bridge was built on the same location. So this drawing is of the new bridge, and you can see it was a covered bridge. It was a toll bridge, which I think is kind of interesting. Down in the lower right-hand corner, you can see the toll bridge house, the tannery just to the right of the covered bridge there. What's interesting, I think, back then in those days, the river was used for a lot of commercial transportation. There's a deep water channel and a dockyard down on the lower left. But there was a lot of stuff going on the river back in those days. This bridge burned in 1850 when the tannery at its south end caught fire. So that's the tannery just to the right of the bridge. So you're looking at the river from the south side, looking north up to the left. This bridge was replaced by a wooden bridge, wooden truss structure. The new bridge was opened at the top except for some crossing timbers. Anybody have any idea why there was no cover on it? And I think if you hold down your bar, you can talk. Is that right, Tom?
Yes.
So hold down your space bar if anybody has any ideas. No
To
ideas?
To let it dry?
No, actually it was left open so the snow would get on it so sleighs could go across it more easily in the winter. Something we don't think about too much now. So it allowed the snow to fall through so the sleighs could more easily cross. A considerable part of this bridge was washed away during the St. Patrick's Day flood of 1865. The bridge's only stone pier was undermined and most of the southern span dropped out and washed down the river. The bridge was repaired and remained in use until 1869. In 1869, there were two bridges over the Chemung River, Lake Street and Main Street bridges. Both were toll bridges. Businessmen on the north side of the river did not like that people had to pay tolls to cross. Customers from the Plank Road district, which was on the south side, and other parts of Southport were reluctant to cross the bridge to do business. Farmers didn't want to pay a toll to sell their products, so they went south to Troy, Pennsylvania instead of Elmira. That was quite a trek to Troy, Pennsylvania back in those days. But obviously it was easier or cheaper than going to paying the tolls. In 1869, the city passed a legislative act authorizing it to purchase both bridges for $25,000. They dropped the tolls and used taxpayer funds to maintain the structures. 3 years later, another act authorizing the building of new bridges in both locations. The Main Street Bridge was replaced first, then the Lake Street Bridge was completed in 1864. The new Lake Street Bridge was made of iron with three spans of 182 feet each and trusses 26 feet high. The piers were made of limestone at a cost of $65,000. And this picture, as you can see, is from 1890. The Lake Street Bridge was replaced with a new steel bridge in 1905. While the work was being done, a temporary wooden pedestrian bridge was erected next to it so people could cross. And you can see several people walking across the pedestrian bridge there, along with workers up in the right side of the main bridge doing construction. Here's a couple more pictures of the bridge. These, which was typical in the day, these were postcards of the bridge, probably hand-painted things. Here's another picture of it. I like this, to take a look at this picture and look at these bushes in the front. And then the next picture, I guess somebody didn't like it without the leaves on it, so they went and painted in the leaves for a new postcard. I thought these were actually pretty cool postcards. In June of 1959, the city manager reported to the city council that the Lake Street Bridge was in desperate need of repair. The bridge supports were weakened and metal fixtures were corroded and rivets were missing on some of the joints. Salt used on the roads during the winter caused much of the deterioration. The council closed the bridge to all traffic and the plans were made to replace the structure. In June of 1961, upwards of 1,500 Elmirans gathered in the rain for the official opening of the new Lake Street Bridge. And this is a picture of that bridge, pretty much what it looks like today, although not in quite as good shape today. The cost of demolition of
Maggie
the old
Barnes,
bridge.
join the meeting.
It's fine. The computer set. Talk to us.
Oh, okay.
Maggie just joined us.
Great. The cost of demolition of the old bridge and the construction of the new bridge was just under $500,000. And so here's another picture of the bridge back in the 1970s. And then, as pretty much everybody knows, we were hit with the flood of 1972 from Hurricane Agnes. This picture, there wasn't a picture of the Lake Street Bridge during the flood, but the floodwaters rose all the way to the bridge's deck, but it survived pretty much unscathed. The only other bridge to survive the flood was the Madison Avenue Bridge. The Lake Street Bridge was used only for emergency and official traffic during and after the flood. On here, National Guardsmen blocked access to the bridge. All the civilian traffic used the Madison Avenue Bridge. 11 years later, in 1983, the Lake Street Bridge was closed for 2 months while the new expansion joints were installed. The structural steel was scraped and repainted, and the roadway was resurfaced with a new membrane liner to help preserve the concrete deck. And these next several pictures are just a few pictures of the bridge from over the years. Here we are looking east with the Lake Street Bridge in the foreground with the Mark Twain Riverfront Park, Madison Avenue Bridge in the background looking up at the river and at Jerusalem Hill. Another picture from the south side looking north. And from the north side looking south from, this picture's taken from inside the Riverfront Park. And then a picture of the river, or of the bridge at night. So regular maintenance was not enough to keep the bridge from deteriorating. Winters can be hard in the Northeast, and despite yearly washing, salt used to treat the roads damaged the bridge's concrete supports and rubber expansion joints. In March of 2011, the Lake Street Bridge was declared unsafe and closed to vehicles and pedestrians. At this time, it had the lowest traffic count of all the city's 5 bridges over the river. As early as May of 2011, there were reports that the bridge would be repaired for pedestrian use. And here's a conceptual design of what the bridge would look like as a pedestrian bridge. The conversion of the bridge to a pedestrian bridge was included in part of the Elmira Downtown Revitalization Initiative Strategic Plan. The plan stated that the rehabilitation of the bridge as a pedestrian walkway and bicycle passage will open access to the Chemung River as a viable economic and recreational resource, promote riverfront activities, and create a continuous connection to the Mark Twain Riverfront Park and a proposed trail system. It will also serve as an important connection between the north and south sides of downtown Elmira while providing public access to the scenic river landscape. The projected cost of the river was $3.25 million. I'm sorry, the pedestrian bridge was $3.25 million. And at that time, it was estimated that that would be less than the cost of demolition of the bridge. Elmira did receive a grant from New York State for the project in 2017. The plans for the construction were to start this past fall and completed this spring. However, the only bid received for the project was over the funding available, and it was rejected. It is expected to be rebid this year with the hopes of construction starting in this coming fall and completed in the spring of next year. So, as I mentioned earlier, we had talked about doing an historical marker, and the initial grant proposal was for a traditional historic marker that you see quite often, the metal signs that we see along roadways and so forth. Jim Brady had some discussions with Jim Hare, our county historian, and he recommended a historical sign similar to this. He's been using those. This sign is actually in Woodlawn Cemetery. They're much more modern, as you can see, and allow us to use pictures, which I think are much more appealing, and they look really nice. They're also another nice part of this is that they're done, these particular signs are produced by Jeremy Hogan of HR Design. He's from Elmira, and I think it's a really nice idea if we can keep the money in the area. Also, they're quite a bit cheaper than the traditional old metal signs. Here's another close-up of the front of the sign. I did send a picture. These two pictures I sent to Andy Avery to see. I thought we probably should get approval from Andy before we go forward, because part of this whole grant application was that it was approved by the Highway Department, and also the city of Elmira will take ownership of this plaque once we put it in. So the plan now is, I talked to Maggie yesterday about using the information I've received and other information I've got to put together a narrative that we can use on the plaque, and we can use some of these pictures. We do have to get permission from the Chemung County Historical Society to use the pictures. There may be a slight fee for that. We don't know that yet, but we'd hope to get this ready and maybe get it to Jeremy sometime this month so we can get it produced. We do have to pay for this up front before we can get reimbursed by the district, and we have to have a paid receipt before we have to have that submitted to the district before the middle of May to get the funding. So that's pretty much it. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
As a reminder to the late entry people, if you want to speak, hold your space bar down.
Dick, how are things coming with creating the content?
Well, the content is what I've pretty much submitted today, or talked to you about today, and Maggie has agreed to take that content and put it together in some kind of a format that can we use along with pictures. What I wanted to do was ask you, I know you had originally talked about wanting to see it before we put it up for production, and maybe you could take a look at it and see how we can best put it on the, present it on the plaque.
I think something else that would be cool is they have the website down at the bottom right, but we could put either a QR code or another short thing, and if they click on that, they could play a video of kind of what you just presented to us on a loop. So if they're interested in reading that, you would scan that, and then a video would play. And we could host it on our website, or the history thing could host it on their website. I think that would be kind of cool to add a little bit more interaction.
Yeah, that's a very interesting idea. I like that idea. Also, the plan is to put a Rotary symbol on the plaque, and something like brought to you or sponsored by the Elmira Rotary Club. I would like to say something about serving the Elmira community since 1916, because I think it would be nice to put the fact that we've been around here for a long time also. And yes. Also just a small thing at the bottom, recognizing the Chemung County Historical Society for the information and the pictures.
I agree. And we would also put that in the video too.
Will the plaque be updatable? Technology is going to change from time to time.
Yeah, certainly. Jeremy talked about this plaque can be pulled out, and I'm sure that you can put in you could update and put in a new information down the road without recreating the entire structure. Because he talked about it's really critical how he wants to install it, because it's really critical that the legs are put in perfectly, so because the plaque itself slides into that thing, and so I'm sure it can be pulled out, and that could be changed down the road. But
So-
I would verify with that with Jeremy.
Can I ask a point of clarification?
Sure.
So will Jeremy do the design and Polly will kind of review it, or will Polly design it and Jeremy will execute it?
I would like to design it and provide Jeremy with just the artwork, and he can execute it.
I think that's a good idea. So I think what we're going to need is to have the exact sizes and take a look and see what we can do within the space available.
And I can work with him on that and get the dimensions from him and all that good stuff.
Dick, you would need to talk to the Historical Society if we could use a lot of those images in a video to get proof on that. And I don't know who in the club would prefer to make the video with a narrator. I mean, we could do almost what you just did, or we could make it much more professional looking. So it just depends on what we have available to us as a resource and who wants to play.
That sounds like a whole nother project, Tom.
Well, it would be. I'm talking about the QR code could be there because it's going to be a couple of years before this goes up anyway, right? I mean, we have to start paying it.
This won't be installed for at least a year now. The idea was it would be installed this spring, but obviously the bridge project isn't happening. So, but we have to do this now in order to receive the funding.
We have to spend the money now. It doesn't
We
mean they have to
spend the
produce
money
it.
now to produce it. So it would be at least a year before it would actually be in place. So we do have time to do that kind of thing down the road.
Maybe we could have Paul Harris do it.
Oh, there you go.
Or JD, he's our speaker next week.
Any other comments or input?
Nice job on the presentation, Dick.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thanks to Erin Doan. This, she's in doing my research and trying to find information, she basically had done this whole thing back in 2018, and I came across that, and it was exactly the kind of thing we're looking for. I mean, I did add a bunch of stuff at the end about the revitalization plan initiative, but yeah, she did a really nice job of bringing the information together and the pictures. So thank you.
All right, Dick. So on the bottom, you should be able to click Stop Screen Share.
I'm sorry?
On the where it says Screen Share, you should be able to click somewhere, and it should be able. You should be able to turn it off. I want to see if you can do it.
Okay. Oh, I got to get out of this, right? Okay.
Yeah. Let's see.
Where's my? Oh, there it is. I think for some reason I can't find my meeting. Maybe I got to do it up here.
Thank you, Maggie.
Yeah,
Hey,
thank
Maggie.
you very much, Maggie. Appreciate
Hey,
the update.
Maggie.
Thanks, Maggie.
Stay safe.
Maggie, don't go yet.
Okay, I'll stay.
Oh, if you have a chance, on behalf of myself and I'm guessing everybody in these windows that I'm looking at, please tell the people who are working there at the hospital how much we appreciate them.
Yeah.
I will.
Absolutely.
I will. I will. Thank you. I promise I will do that. They are fighting the good fight every day with everything they've got, and I'm just so proud to be anywhere in their vicinity while they're doing it.
You bet.
So take care, guys. Love y'all.
Bye, Maggie.
Bye, Maggie.
Before we all go next week, JD Isles is planned. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Tom?
I have communicated with JD. He's very excited to be our first true guest speaker on this kind of a presentation. He has something already scheduled for us. Let me find out what he wrote.
Who is he?
He has
He's a realtor with Keller Williams, and he's been doing regular videos on Facebook about, let's see, Elmira's Hidden Treasures.
Hidden Landmarks. Yeah.
He actually was scheduled to speak, I think last week.
Yeah, he was scheduled to speak last week. Yeah.
I've seen some of his stuff. No, I just didn't know who that was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm getting his messaging. I'll show you what he's going to do.
So he's agreed to be our first outside speaker, our outside virtual speaker, and we'll see how that goes.
I was actually I was supposed to speak next week, and I was going to do it on the coffee shop, and I was going to bring in coffee. I can't do it.
For all of us?
Yeah, I was going to bring
virtually.
some.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it now.
It tastes good for you.
Yeah, can't do it
Is
now.
Is that where you
I'll
are
save
now,
it.
Randy?
Save it for the week after. Because
Yes,
we don't
I'll save
have
it till when we
anything
come back. First
Is
week
that
we come
where
back.
you are now?
No, I'm in my basement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is Etch shut down for takeout?
They get ready to close. It's from 8 to 1 every day.
Okay, thank you.
Curbside.
Yep, curbside too.
Let's see. JD is going to talk about hidden landmarks in general and then transition into the Victory Garden project.
Oh, that's right. He's doing that this year. Yeah.
So he would be a good person to help us with the video for the bridge.
That was my thought. I figured I would talk to him after the presentation.
Yeah, he's a dynamic guy. He would
perfect.
be good to do something like that.
Dick, can you send me that PowerPoint that you used just so I can sort of give them a general idea, and then we'll worry about the permissions and stuff down the road?
Sure.
Thank you. Anybody else? We're not doing Happy Dollars online yet or anything like that, although some clubs are. If that's something we want to do, we can do that.
You can do it in PayPal.
We do have a PayPal account, and I'll put, I think that's on our website in general, but that's a lot of play at the moment. We're slowly coming along.
For now, save your Happy Dollars in your piggy bank and bring them when we start getting back together.
It sure is nice to see everybody's faces.
It is nice to see everybody. You know, when we're used to seeing everybody every week.
Yeah.
This is really nice. So I appreciate everybody.
And I would actually encourage all of you to try and get your own Zoom account and Zoom with some of your friends that you don't see or anything like that. There's a free level available for everyone. I would suggest we try to do it and just play with it and see what happens and let people dabble.
I Zoom with my granddaughter.
All
right.
Hey, Randy,
Yes.
is Etch, will Etch do like gift cards?
Yes, they're electronic. Yep.
Hey,
So,
Katie, we got a picture.
Oh, there we go. Hi.
Hey, Katie.
We could go get like gift certificates that they could just hold in the store for us for future use.
Yes. Yeah, I think they're you can do them electronically. I don't know if you can do them online. I can't remember. I know when you come in, I've done it to where I sent it to someone.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So what I'm going to do is I have recorded this meeting. I'm going to upload it to a YouTube channel and then post it on our Facebook. And then generally speaking, I'm going to put a link to our meetings on Monday to promote Tuesday. So any guests or anybody you want to drop in, please invite them. I mean, a lot of people are looking to get to this space, even if it's spaces they don't know yet.
While we have both Tanya and Katie here, can we talk about doing an induction soon?
Sure.
To get them officially in the club? Katie
Let's
and
talk
Tanya?
about it.
Sure.
So,
And Carol?
Carol, do you
The
already
way
have
that-
what you need?
Yes, and what I was thinking is that I could do a very short synopsis of each of the information that they gave me, and that way we could do what you're talking about.
Great.
Can we pick a date?
Katie, are you and Tanya both available next week?
Yeah, I have nothing else to do.
Yeah, something to do, Katie?
And we
You too? You're not going on a trip anywhere, vacation or anything.
No.
You just got back.
First Zoom inductees ever?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it'll be recorded forever.
Oh,
Right.
Lord.
So
That would
let's,
be
let's
very
plan
cool.
on let's plan on doing that next week.
So are you going to
Perfect.
mail them the pin so they can self-pin themselves?
I was going to do a virtual pin ceremony.
We'll do an official pinning when we get back together.
Okay.
That'll be
Good.
very
Right.
cool.
Great. Thank
Good.
you. So next week it's going to be JD Isles. Randy, you want to do the week after that?
Oh, I was gonna do it once we got back together for the coffee because I was gonna actually bring it in.
Oh, you were gonna I thought you were gonna drink it there and make us watch.
No. I can try and work on a guest. I think I canceled it. Actually, I may have Dr. Coleman do it. He was supposed to be a guest coming out.
That would be fun.
I can talk to him.
That would be fun.
Chris would be another good one.
Yes, I that's actually very good. I might do Chris Moss.
Oh,
Great.
yeah.
Yeah. As an update.
Anybody else have anything more for the club?
No, it's great to see everybody.
I'm gonna ding.
Welcome back, Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Oh, that was kind of a dud. Okay. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you all for coming, and look forward to seeing you next week.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
See you next week.
Bye.